JJ's still here? I thought for sure when it's 24-0, him and Greg had gone to the house. I would have left if I could have.
Jeff, you guys come from behind today, biggest comeback in school history. How did you guys do that in the second half?
Well, we got behind. Obviously, we were just getting physically whipped up front on the O-line and D-line. Weren't fitting correctly in our backers and safeties, and UTEP had a great game plan, and they executed very well. And, the smoke and go was big for Cephas, kind of hid some really bad offensive play by getting 7. And then Dadrian made an unbelievable play in the block by Traylor on the quarterback down the sideline to get to 14. And when you get totally outplayed that bad at halftime, you're only down 10, you feel like you're in a good spot, right? And then we come out and get them 3 and out right off the jump. And, I thought, we got pushed in our helmet, which made us change his directory and ran into the punter. The officials did not agree with my opinion. That was a killer. And then they went back ahead of us, and then we answered. And, it was just a really good football game by two teams that, we're limping home. Losing Brendan Brady was a huge loss for us, and losing Gavin is such another devastating injury. I've done this for 33 years, and I've seen maybe 3 of those in my life, and 2 of them, were this year for us. Personally, I've seen that. I've seen it happen to other people.
Jeff, what had to happen to get the offense going the way it did in the second half to make this comeback possible?
I really don't get on with my guys very much. I don't, but I was mad at halftime. I mean, we got our tails physically whipped, and I got at, and they knew I was right, and it's a players' game, and they went out there and the ones that got it done. And no team in college football is talented enough to not play your best, but we just have to be on our game. We just have to be. We cannot. And that's one thing I would say about my kids, our kids. That's 12 straight games, man, where they freaking give it up now. Their competitive spirit is like no one's. And I already knew when it's 24-0, I'm like, freaking Greg and JJ are going to be asking me, why is Frank still out there and why hadn't I pulled the kids yet? And I was going to tell them, we're going to come back and win the game. And by God, we did.
Coach, you guys finished 8-0 in a conference for the first time in program history. What does that accomplishment mean to you and the guys?
I think the way we've done it makes it more special. Overcoming so much adversity, so many lead changes, so many times we've been behind. Grit, mental toughness, the quarterback that, got gimped up out there and refused to let me take him out of the game. And those kids are special, man. And it's emotional. And those senior days are tough. And I try to warn them. That's my 18th senior day. And I bet we've been behind in darn near half of them because we're all crying so dang much in pregame. It's tough seeing them moms and dads, and we pour into those kids now. We love those kids. And I know every coach says that, man. It hurts me to see them go, man. Me and Dadrian Taylor, Maka, little bad Corey, Mayfield, man, we've been through a lot together. Kevin Davis. I'm going to miss those guys, man. It's emotional, and we weren't really plugged in to play. So we got to get that fixed, or North Texas will embarrass us Friday night.
Jeff, your defense gave up some yards and points early on, but the last 4 UTEP drives were punt, interception, and punt. What does it say about that unit to be able to answer the call there at the end?
They did what Coach Lepp asked them to do and what the head coach asked them to do, which is freaking let's be physical, man. It's hypocritical to say you're the triangle of toughness and you don't play tough. And we don't want to be fake. We want to be real at all times. It doesn't mean you're always going to win. It's hard to win in college football. It's hard. But there's a certain way the game's supposed to be played. And we represented that in the second half. We were fortunate, to be honest with you, in the first half. Fortunate.
Jeff, what does it do for the group heading into the Conference USA Championship game to have a game like this that you're coming off of, and just 6 days ahead of time?
I guess remains to be seen, right? I'm really nervous, about certain spots on our team right now just because of injuries. And so there's some things I'm upset about the way we played. But do you risk injury during practice during the week? That's my major concern right now, is just me thinking, how do I get this team ready when I thought we did not win up front today? And that's something that has to be addressed. We got to figure that out. And that's what we're going to do this week somehow.
Jeff, I know it just happened, but can you give us an update any on Gavin and Brendan?
Neither one of them looked very good at all, so we'll find out more. I would say Gavin's is for sure, really bad, and Brendan's is probably 50-50 really bad.
Jeff, UTEP had 8 false start penalties. How much of a factor was the crowd in this one?
I would have left if I was the crowd, 24-0, and they're the reasons we came back and won the game. And these people, our team's a lot like our city. We just stubborn and tough in San Antonio, right? And our crowd's just stubborn and tough. Now, I did have some fans that honestly admitted they almost left. And they said Cephas made that catch, and it kind of got them interested. And then Day made that play, and they decided to stick around a little longer. I said, well, that'd be a shame. You missed the greatest comeback in the history of UTSA. But then I told them the truth. I would have left too if I could have.
Jeff, knowing it's going to be North Texas next week, what's your first reaction to having a rematch on the docket now?
That's the first I've heard. I didn't know. I appreciate you letting me know. I didn't know it was North Texas. How bad they beat Rice?
Just barely.
They had to come back to beat.
There you go. I didn't know. Thank you for letting me know, Greg. I'll be in early in the morning, and I'll be trying to prepare for those suckers. Congrats to them. They're a great team. Our crowd's got to be here. How many we have here?
26.
We got to get to 45 if we got a chance. If we don't hit 45, we're in trouble Friday. We are out of people, right? We need the city to show up. I mean, it's got to be like tonight times 2 for us to have a competitive chance. And we worked hard to get that home field. We can't waste it, man. We cannot waste it. So we need to get this place packed. We should be shooting for the record. I mean, come on. It's the second consecutive championship at home. This is hard to do, man. What we got to do, but we got to get 50,000 people in here. If I got to go around the town, whatever it takes, we got to get them here. It's important, man. We got to get this one done Friday. Thank y'all.
Jeff.